And hello, welcome to Business Internet Mastery Training. Today we're going to dive into the power of mini launches. Quite a few people in our mastery community have been asking, hey Char, really got to hit the ground running. A couple of them have had to shift with the latest developments as of the recording of this, March 2020. We're in the middle of this viral outbreak. And so people have had to pivot their business plans and so on. If you're in our mastery community, you need help pivoting your business plan, please reach out to me. I'm happy to do that. I've been in conversations with a lot of people, not only in our mastery community, but also in my other businesses, helping them kind of pivot and think about, all right, what do I got to do in the next enduring amount of time to really assure that I'm taking care of my family? We talked about that in our other training today, the idea of what we're doing to amp our immunity and protect ourselves, but also take care of my business. That all being said, today is an amazing way to pivot if you're interested in leverage, going to scale, and that idea that I always teach from, recurring revenue equals personal freedom. Now remember my story. Back in I was in 93 or 94, I sat down with Ed Aiken, the owner of the building that the business I worked for was in, and I was frustrated because I was kind of doing business as good as my last sale. What I meant by that is I was selling computers and I was going out and installing them and helping people. We'd spend about an hour with them, setting it all up, showing them how to turn it on, turn it off, how to get into the different programs. Yeah, and back then it was just before Windows. So, excuse me. So the idea was we had to be really clear about helping them navigate more complexity in terms of using a computer system. Came back kind of frustrated. Ed said, hey Char, you don't look so happy, what's going on? And then we talked through a conversation. He said, in my business, which is insurance, we keep people happy with insurance, making sure they're covered, and they come in and they pay every quarter, every half year, every year. And I was like, light bulb. And then build a business around that model, Internet Services in Michigan. That business, based on recurring revenue, was bought because we had 10,000 subscribers on October 10th of 2000, almost coming up on 20 years ago. And I basically won the lottery in the financial realm. As you may remember my personal story, my body was tanked. I was about 270 pounds. I was completely out of alignment in many areas. Worked for quite a while to get that course corrected. My point with all of this is this. Recurring revenue is personal freedom. Mini launches are a great avenue to help you build that. If you're a thought leader, even in a service-oriented business, we're going to kind of approach it from two different, we'll call it case studies in today's training. That all being said, thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to celebrate. We've cleared now over 500,000 in total Kajabi sales with our businesses. And the big part of that is Life Business Mastery Community and Life and Business Success Group. And I just want to celebrate that. That is phenomenal in the last little over 2 years, and crushed our goals from a place of growth, not from scale. Now what I mean by that, if you haven't followed us, is that result was created by the power of one-on-one relationships and making sure people are taken care of. Unconditional love, as I've trained in the past. So really want to set the tone here. We haven't gone to scale yet. That's on the banks for this decade. That's my word of the year. But it's really going to start igniting in second quarter. So I want to make sure as you see what we're doing and where we're pulling some best practices from. We've tested mini launches in other instances and a little bit with our own stuff, not in a major consistent way. And that's what we're going to be doing. So I just want to assure that I'm giving you the details on the front end of what this is with the results that we're seeing so far with some of the clients we're working with. And this is about helping the world with whatever that message is that you have. Your purpose, your vision, your goal for the long haul. So a couple things if you got your notes out to write down. Number one, recurring revenue equals personal freedom. I'm living proof of that. And my dream is for you to have that. Leverage or doing group coaching or having a monthly program, that can be all part of that. And we'll talk that through today in terms of mini launches. Second is to assure that you know the power of unconditional love and a journey, not a destination type language. Now what I mean by that is as you go out to roll out a mini launch, really thinking through the idea that, am I committed to the people that are honored? I'm honored to have purchased my thing. Am I committed to them for the long term at the deepest levels of care, compassion, love for what my promise is to them? And if you don't have 100% belief in that, full energy, enthusiasm with that, we talked about this in our previous trainings, people detect it. So you've got to be real clear about that. And that's why I believe the conversation for you and I needs to start at big picture perspective. So if you've been with us before, you know the 5 Ps. Let's go through and rate ourselves at how well we're living into them in the last 4 weeks. And assure, as we're setting the stage for mini launches, that we're folding it into whatever that mini launch is for you. And if you're not sure what a mini launch is, we're going to dive into that in just a moment so you kind of get a frame for what that means, and we'll take it from there. Number 1 P, purpose. And I'd love to know, as you think about the last 4 weeks, how purposeful have you felt in your business? And if you don't have a business, in your life. So typically we measure purpose in the world of high performance over here, talk about that in a second, in the sense that we're helping others. So the premise is we're helping others. We're helping others improve their life somehow and or grow their business somehow. And we're on that hunt every day, multiple times per day. Putting goodwill into social media, putting goodwill out there, doing the tactics if we're consultant or fulfilling on things for people, helping others think, we got to go after this, being accountable, being a coach for it. These are all the ways that I do it. So have you felt purposeful in the last 4 weeks in line of what you do and the way you've been serving the world? 0, not at all. 10, crushing it. So I'd love for you to think about, if you rate below an 8, what's 1 or 2 things you need to consider or do to feel purposeful? And I reward for participation. So if you're watching the replay or watching us live, go ahead and comment below. What is it that you're doing right now that feels ultra purposeful? And maybe share your rating as well. Would love to see it. If you need help there, and you're in our mastery community, to reach out to me. Now, the high performance conversation, high performing meaning bringing full engagement, joy, and confidence consistently over the long term while living from our best self. I know that was a lot. That comes from the world of what I do in high performance coaching. Blessed now to have coached over 3,600 sessions and helped hundreds of people create and maintain and get depth and connection and emotional, and getting chills just telling you this, emotional enthusiasm around their purpose, but being clear about what it is and then how they're actuating it in their lives, in their businesses. It's so awesome to have that. So if you have any desire to learn more about high performance coaching and how it can help you, down below there's an application. My schedule for 2020 right now is full for one-on-one high performance coaching. So I have certified high performance coaches in our community that are more than willing to help you. We're going to try to give you a good fit. So if you have any desire there, we can get that rolling for you. If you're in our master community, I already know you have access to our group coaching. So you can go through the beautiful curriculum, and you can also get the worksheets that really help you to find your purpose, rock it out. A hint, session 11 from the core sessions. If you need to revisit your purpose, go into it, crush it. Get the worksheet. Be, do, have. Why is it important to you? These elements rock from you feeling connected, clear, less overwhelmed, less stress about what you need to say yes to in the world and what you need to say no to. My purpose is so clear. If people come to me and say, hey, Char, can you do this or that? I'm like, you know what? That pulls me away from my purpose. I'm so sorry I can't do that. But here's the ways I can help. And it's a different conversation than saying, no, I don't think I can do that. Like, you're so clear on your yes, you're able to say no better. The highest performers say no 80% of the time, positively framed. Do you need to say no to something right now in your life or in your business so you can really go after your bigger dream? If you do, you're not alone. And if you need help with that, we can talk that out. Come into our Q&A, bring it. Let's go. Second P, passion. How emotionally connected and enthused have you been over the last 4 weeks in your business? It's the context for today's training. In your business. Some people that I've met have been in business 20, 25 years. They lost their passion. They self-report. I've lost my passion for my business. I don't even want to talk about it. I hate it. And they work with me to reignite that passion or come at it from a new way or bring a new service or a new solution or a new product online. And next thing you know, they've reignited their passion. But here's what I've noticed. Sales are directly proportional usually, especially with solopreneurs, to the amount of passion, enthusiasm, energy, engagement they have in their business. You ever notice that? I can tell you from my history, there's times where my passions have dipped, sales have gone down. When I'm enthused and engaged and purposeful about something, people are like, holy crap, what do you got going on? I want some of that. I'm ready to go. That's the shift. Third item, positive. Big premise of high performance is bringing the joy. So I'd love to know, how well have you done about keeping a positive mindset, bringing the joy into your work, with your clients, if you have them, with your online efforts and your videos? I hope I'm bringing the joy for you and being a great example for you. So what does that look like for you in the last 4 weeks? Have you been bringing the joy in light of all the things that are going on in the world right now? 0, not at all. 10, you know what? I've risen above, I'm handling it, I'm going after it, I'm crushing it. Cool? Next up, productivity. How productive have you felt in the last 4 weeks? And again, high performance production. Sounds like this. I've got my list of responsibilities that have to be done every day. And I know what those are for today and tomorrow. And if you're a real high performer, you've got them documented in your one-page productivity plan. But I'm also really clear on my purposeful, life-driven work. So the projects, dreams, goals, aspirations, I've got those documented. I'm articulate about them. And I'm working on no more than 3 at once. No more than 3 at once, because the highest performers understand and know if we're working on more than 3 major initiatives at once, we're depriving ourselves of the depth and connection we can have with each of the projects. There's only so much bandwidth our brain can handle. So we're depriving ourselves of those kind of things. So 3 or less projects are on the plate now. I might have 20 projects that I want to do. I prioritize what needs to be done first, and I'm working those, and I know my big moves, and I know the steps that I'm taking. And even if you don't know the steps to take, you're on the hunt to learn. Because, you may want to write this one down, I believe in my ability to figure things out. One of the big themes of high performance. You see how high performance weaves into business and weaves into a lot of the bigger picture and the tactics of how we handle things and get things done? So, last 4 weeks, how you doing with productivity? 0, not productive at all. I'd sit there and eat Doritos and binge watch Netflix all day knowing that I have other things I gotta do. 10, crushing it. Not only do I have time blocks in play every day, but I'm living into working on my life's work, taking care of me, self-love, self-care, and handling my responsibilities and being there for my family, my friends, those I love, care for, and serve. Whew. Is that a tall order or what? Wow. Ugh. So I'd love for you to share a participation cue. Go ahead, share below or on the side, depending on if you're watching this live or if you're watching this in the replay, what it is for you in line of these. And one thing you're going to do to up-level, uplift, or grow. That makes sense? My challenge for you is to share one thing you're committed to doing. And if you want accountability, saying, please hold me accountable. Just put those words there. I'm looking through the chat logs and we'll see what we can do to work that accountability component out for you. Some people, they just need the accountability. The last piece is profit. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people I'm working with who are seeing what they'll classify as life profits go whew, as the stock market has just tanked in the last couple weeks due to what's happening in the world right now. Total side note, I got out of the market earlier this year, just sensing something was coming. I didn't know what. But I just was like, right now I've got so much on my plate, I can't really monitor that like I do it. I do all my own work, self-managed. And I am loving the fact that I'm out of the market. But now it's buy-in season as we start to see this pivot. Some point here soon, there should be a pivot where things kind of level out and then maybe turn around. We'll see how that goes. But for you, in the last 4 weeks, how have you done at maintaining your break-even, taking care of your expenses, saving for the future, making sure you have padding in your business. So if things get lean, you can cover for a while or a long time. And third, investing in either yourself, if you're a solopreneur, meaning in your retirement plan or paying down debt and or research and development for new products, services, solutions. Does that all make sense? 0, I don't even know. I just don't even know what I'm spending money on. I have no idea about anything. I'm just somehow I'm able to be here and I haven't gotten a lot of notices that I'm going to get my power shut off and I'm going to be taken to court for not paying my credit card, whatever that is. 10, crushing it. Got it all dialed in, saw this coming, expected sometime here in a future that we'd have some form of recessionish or some form of dip in the economy or some form of whatever this thing's looking like. And I'm prepped for it. I'm ready to go. If that is not your case and you need help with that, please reach out to me. We will talk that through. I want to make sure I'm supporting you and taking care of you. Thank you so much, once again, for being here with me. Rocking this day out, totally crushing the 5 Ps. So I hope that shed light on the big picture. As we talked about from the beginning, the fuel for us, the emotional connection, passion, joy that we want to bring into helping the world in the power of mini launches. So now let's step into the training part of our work today. And the first thing is, what is a launch, a campaign, and promotion? So if you've ever worked with or read Jeff Walker's book, Product Launch Formula, I think the book's just called Launch. The idea of a launch is where you have a set of services, solutions, or products that you're going to promote for a limited period of time, and there's a deadline involved. Now, a traditional launch was a big deal, meaning that you prep for it for weeks, if not months. You'd have a 14 to 28 day time frame where you're sending out specific messages, running specific ads, and it was really intense. If you were in the upper echelon of this, you had affiliates, people that were helping you promote during this promotional window, usually, like I said, 14 to 28 days, and they were doing their job to promote. If you follow Brendan Bouchard, who's a lot of the people in our master community, that's how I've met many of my beautiful friends, my family, I like to call it. He talked about how when he got clear on his big launch, Total Product Blueprint, he did over 4 million in sales inside of, I think it was like 14 days, and then worked that from there. But he had alignment with all of his affiliates and alignment with his product, and he was really clear. We're going to talk about the psychology of this on his message to the world and how it helped. And dang, did he have that dialed in. I just remember him skipping around his studio, and he had all these flip charts up showing you out of each about 12 different ways you can make $100,000 by creating a product or a solution. And I was like, dude. And then I finally got to go with him to that studio just before he sold it a few years ago. And I got to see the magical place where I got to spend time with him in the video realm. And it was so cool. So the launch, these are the elements of a launch. There's a specific thing that's sold or things that are sold. There's a promotional window. There's a deadline. And typically there's a bonus or some form of incentive to act on it now. Does that all make sense? So in a campaign, this means that you may have many launches over the sequence of a year that drive to the same product or different products that you have as part of a bigger ambition to help people get clarity, get growth, be helped, be served in the line of what you do. So I know we're talking big picture. Let's bring it down to a smaller level. Let's just say that I had the Business Mastery course, 7-week, 7-module course, $2,000. And we wanted to do a launch around that. So we would go through and really promote the idea that, hey, there's a window amount of time you get in Business Mastery. The incentives that I would have is if you sign up before date of close of launch, is you're going to spend time with me as a bonus, as a 2-hour vision strategy and planning session with me as a bonus to really kickstart you. And then we'll have 2 more hour sessions thereafter, 2 or 4 weeks or whatever that is for you, to really make sure you're on track and you're moving, getting accountability, getting clarity, and being told and helped with taking decisive action. You see how that bigger launch is a massive course? So what I'm doing now is we have literally a library of 20 plus, maybe 30 plus trainings from all of our monthly health, wealth, and happiness trainings and our business internet mastery trainings. And each of those I've engineered, especially in the last 2 years, to have its own bigger picture availability to be sold separately. Does that make sense? Like this topic, when we're done with it, it can be a mini launch. I can go out there, create a mini launch around how to grow your business with mini launches, and then train. This session will be the main offer. And if you want, for a limited time up until this launch is closed, you will get access to our Q&A where you can talk with me. For an upsell, we'll have a VSPA, vision, strategy, planning, and action session, or 2. And that's a limited time offer because there's only one of me, right? So the sequencing is this. If you've created content, my challenge for you is to think about, can this content be leveraged in a mini launch? And I would challenge you to bundle a Q&A session, maybe a group Q&A or a set of group Q&As, and or at like a VIP level, and it would be an upward price. We'll go over that in a minute. This time that they can spend with you personally to get started and help them understand. Be careful to watch this part of the training a few times so you get clarity on what it is you need to concentrate on to really own, in this case, a mini launch. Does that all make sense? Let me kind of reframe. Big launch is the idea that it's around a huge promotion. Typically, you get other people involved. There's about 2 to 3 months of planning involved, creating the course, the content, the bonuses. Then the idea that we're going to have affiliates. So we're doing that as a mini launch, if you want to call it that, reaching out to affiliates. Hey guys, we're going to be debuting this program, and here's what it looks like. Here's how we'd love for you to promote it. A mini launch is simply, inside a week, basically 4 emails, maybe some ads, and the concept of just moving a smaller product at a smaller price point. Could be a solution, could be a service. So in the context for what I shared, the mini launch is the selling of this training for a certain price with the bonus of getting into Q&A right after. Like, you'll buy this and get immediate access to the training. Our first Q&A will be in 2 weeks, like the moment this launch closes, and that gives you additional value. So, because by then you're going to have questions. You follow? If you want VIP upgrade, get into our mastery community where you get this training and you get the support and other training that helps you down the path of mastery. Cool? So I hope you're sensing it. If this is kind of over your head, I'll be happy to answer any questions we have in our Q&As. You know we have a Q&A. And also, please comment, because I'll be sure to answer those. Sometimes I film a separate video and I include that as bonus training, depending on what kind of questions are asked. So let's kind of break this down. We've covered what is a launch, a campaign versus promotion. Typically campaigns are multiple launches or mini launches over time that all have the same drive, the same arc. They're trying to get people into maybe a recurring revenue-based subscription like the mastery community that we have. A promotion is usually just a one-off. It's kind of like, hey, right now we're promoting this, and this is all that we're going to do. What I like to think about is the mini launches can be more of a promotion, but in the big scope of things, the upsell is more of a campaign. So let me break that down for you. I'm going to skip over to my recipe for a minute. Let's just say that I sold this mini launch training that we're doing right now for $67 to get access to it. With that, you got access to one Q&A where you could ask questions in advance and I'd answer them. If you wanted to get access to continual training every month, you could buy this instead for $20 less. You're getting into a recurring thing and you get access to our library. Our library meaning our business internet mastery training library. Or for $247 a year, you can get into all of this. If you prepay, you get more than a 50% discount. You follow? Just so you know, that pricing model that I'm showing here is not for business internet training. That's more for my health, wealth, and happiness stuff. The stuff that helps people improve their lives. Anytime you show people how to make money, you can typically charge more, as long as what you're training them on is helping them really traverse that awareness leads to sales conversation. If you remember the way that I train, there's 3 major goals for online marketing: creating awareness, creating leads, creating sales. Awareness, hey guys, here's who I am, here's what I do, if you're concerned with these things or you're struggling with these things, here's some things to think about how I can help. If you want more help, reach out to me, call me, contact me, or get this downloadable, or sign up for an email list. And at that point, that person becomes a awareness to lead conversion. Hey, if you're in my email list, I got a special for you. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to be running a promotion on X, and I'm sending you some valuable emails. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out. Now you're going to the email list, moving from the leads to the sales conversion. You follow? So we have awareness being generated. Hopefully people are getting into our stuff or calling us to get a lead conversion. Hopefully people from here, if you're doing offers, what this is all about, are converting into sales. Many people that I know personally are doing a great job on awareness. They're not seeing hardly any leads, and they're not even having the sales conversation. They wonder why their businesses are not doing anything. They have not created any offers. They don't have, I'm like, hey, you're doing all this awareness. Where does this point? What's the goal? What's the campaign or promotion that you're going after to get people to buy from you? And they're like, well, I'll get to that. And that's the exact opposite way that the highest performers think. They're like, no, I got my offers set up. I've got the sales pages set up, and I've got everything set. So if they get in there, it's a real clear transaction. And they know what they're getting, and they know what the deliverables are. You follow? I know this is a lot. If you're having any questions or it's going over your head, just make some comments, ask some questions. Be sure to bring clarity to you. I think a lot of the clarity will come as we work through the rest of this. Let's take a little mushroom coffee break. Enjoy a little bit of this, what is it, 4-Zmatic? Coffee, chilling out with you, enjoying this beautiful day. I hope you're having an amazing one. It's just so awesome to be here with you, to be going over this, because here's what we know. One launch, one properly executed mini launch in the context of what we're doing today can change your life. If you get a launch nailed and you get a lot of people in that convert, and they convert in a recurring revenue way, which we'll talk about, that is a game changer. It does not take a lot of people at 47 or 247 a year, 47 a month, 247 a year, to really create income that can help towards break even or beyond. You follow? Like when you think about 100 people at $47, $4,700 a month. What is that a year? Like 55, 60K? Like substantial. And it's today's tools are automated for this. Our job, and we'll talk about this next, is the psychology. The psychology of what it is. The technology's never been easier. Stuff's so good. But the technology, the psychology is where the magic's at. So, recap on what we've covered so far. A launch, campaign, promotion. Hope that has helped. I'm using the example in the context for what we're talking about, a 1-hour training with a Q&A delivered via Zoom. So the 1-hour online training in the case for the example that I've covered so far has been how to grow your business with mini launches. The Q&A Zoom happens after. But if I was going to treat this as a mini launch, I might end that on a Friday at midnight or a Thursday at midnight and then have people watch it over the weekend and have our Q&A on Monday or Tuesday. And that would be the bundled bonus with that mini launch. Does that make sense? Give people a little time to digest the 1-hour training, compile their questions, go in the Q&A. For me, this is how I am. I'm not recommending this, but if you can do it, do it. I'd start the Q&A around noon, and I'd say, guys, we're going to be here all day. We're going to run this thing until all questions are answered. That might be midnight tonight. That's cool. And if we need to go on beyond that, I'm going to shut this down, and we're going to start again tomorrow. If you want to join, let's go. Because I believe in training until ... until it's done, not a limitation on there. And that, a lot of people will be like, well, there's a scarcity that's created with limitation. I just want to make sure people are taken care of. That's my goal. And I think you know that. Hopefully you do by now. So the technology and the psychology, technology's never been easier. Kajabi and these other tools can really help. Facebook Ad Manager, the training and all that. You can get into that pretty quickly and sort it out. The issue though is in the message. So there's a couple things about the psychology you want to be real about. So what I've called this is psychology reality. First one is people buy on emotion. And you probably know this in terms of what you've bought. I really want that thing. You're highly engaged and emotive about it. I really want the new Apple Watch. I really want the new iPad. I really want the new MacBook. I really want those shoes because I can't wait to run in them or walk in them or have people see me in them. And that's coming from a place of emotion. So the number one challenge for you inside of your launch, in your landing page, in your sales page, that we'll talk about in a minute, is to create emotion. And the problem is a lot of amateurs and a lot of people are like, here's the features, here's what you get. And it's like, that doesn't really ignite emotions. So if you have your notes out, write down FAB, F-A-B, features, advantages, benefits. This training goes way back. It's been out there for 30, 40 years. And the concept is, anytime you describe a feature, you need to describe the advantage of the person having it. How that feature helps the person be better, do better, or feel better. And when you get the feelings, that's the magic. And the benefit is how it helps them feel better, but it helps the people they know or they serve or the world be better. So for example, how to grow your business with mini launches. The first feature, I'm going to show you a mechanism, a plan that is all encompassing for creating a launch that can change your life. We already covered the theme. You're one launch away from a changed life. And the lives of those that you support, care for, love, and serve, the people around you. Just that language. I hope you're feeling the emotional connection, the psychology of it. Does that make sense? That's the difference. Fab is everything. Anytime you describe in a bullet point or whatever, here's a feature, make sure you have an advantage, how it changes their life, how it makes them feel better or different toward their goal or their output from whatever the product or solution or service is, and the benefit, how it helps their world be better, their team, their family, their clients, whatever else it is. You follow? And when you get that messaging dialed in, it's just like another wham, wham, wham. Yes, I want this. I want these things and I want these feelings too. You follow? Oh, so gold. People buy on emotion. Next, realize most people, whatever you're selling, this is a real eye-opener for me. And I've seen it. I've talked with Brendan Richard. I've talked with Nick Pigeon. I've talked with James and Emily Williams, all these people that have been doing launches and mini launches for a long time. Realize that 70% of people won't use it. They're in the emotion of buying it, and you may be one of these people, and you're just like, I got it, I know I got to use it, but they just don't. And be okay with that. Because here's what we know. If people acquire it, at least we've done our job for them to have resource to go after it. Our job, and this is what I try to take on as an extra commitment, is to reach out to them periodically and go, hey, I noticed you haven't used the course you bought. Is there anything I can do to help you? Want to get on a quick call? Do you want to go through and see what it is right now for you? Oh, no, I'm just busy. I do want to get back into the course, and I will. That's usually what I receive. But right now is a busy time for me. I'm not going to be able to do it in the immediate future. So that's a huge piece, because a lot of people feel like, don't they like my stuff? And the reality of it is they do, and they were engaged when they bought it. Life showed up for them. But I like to take on that extra kind of responsibility on my end to reach out to the people who've bought things from me that I noticed. And in Kajabi, you can tell whether people have used your product or not. Does that make sense? Really, really powerful. Third, you are reading my mind. That's what you want people to tell you when they visit your offer or your sales page related to your mini launch. And I think I'm putting the cart before the horse here. We'll go over my recipe in a minute. But if you've ever bought something online and you felt that, you make the connection. Like, that's the big thing Brendan always talks about. He's like, people feel like I'm reading their mind. But the reality is I listen to their words and use those words in the story of the struggle, which is the first part of the video or sales page that I have. And it goes like this. Have you ever felt, bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, insert words from people who are your audience, people who can use the product. Have you ever felt like you need to go to the next level in your business and you're not sure what to do? Have you ever felt like, I just need a recipe that works. I need to create success in my business. I don't know what else to do. I've kind of exhausted all my relationships. So these are all struggles related to the topic, how to grow your business with mini launches. Does that make sense? So we're just building the case for that. And that comes into the sales page. There's an outline. If you're a master community member, you have access to the course. The CHPC, actually it's in the CHPC Business Builder course. It's also in the Behind the Scenes Business Builder course, the Ultimate Offer Outline. I'll make sure to link to it below for you. You can get into that and just get through the outline to really create a sales page that rocks. Is that, you follow? There's a formula for it, just like there is for everything on this planet. If you're on the hunt and you're a high performer, you know that. There's fundamentals at play and we just got to align with them. Let's go. My challenge for you, though, is to really, you're reading my mind, use their words, especially with the struggle. If you can use their words, have you ever felt, are you, ... These kind of things, the message connects. Huge part of the psychology of this, building that connection through struggle, challenge, frustration, and then arcing to the ambition. Hey, if you're feeling these things, I've got a solution for you. Here's what it looks like. Here's how it can help your life. And I would challenge you to describe that ambition sensorially. What does it feel like, taste like, look like? How are you going to feel as you're going through it? How are you going to feel after the training? After this training, I hope you feel like I am armed and dangerous. I got a plan and a recipe and I'm ready to go. I'm one launch away from changing my life and my family's life. I'm on it. Does that all make sense? So gold. So these are really critical. So a lot of times with people that I work with, clients, I'll tell them, bring out your emails, contact us inquiries. Bring out your intake sheets. Bring out anything where the customer's written things down or typed things in about what they're struggling with and what they believe you can help them with. Because there's gold in those messages, emails, contact forms, intake sheets. And we just kind of see where the commonalities are. And that becomes the 3 to 5 struggle points at the top of a sales page. Top of a sales page. Have you ever felt? Or in the front end of a sales video. Hey, it's Charlie here. And have you ever felt like you needed a recipe or a plan to promote something you've got? To really go out and using best practices, help people feel how you can help them. You know you can help them, but do they feel you can help them? I got something for you. ... As I describe the features of this training, I would be talking feature, advantage, benefit. The first thing we're going to cover is what is a launch? Here's the thing. Once you understand that one launch can change the trajectory of your life and business, you're going to love it because it not only changes your life, it changes the people you serve, support, and love. Yes, your family's going to benefit from this too. It's up to you to figure out what a launch is, but guess what? I got something for you that'll help you. So if you're not comfortable with going after what we would classify as a big launch, there's a mini launch you can dip your toe in so that you feel supported, cared for, and served while you go after this. And the people you serve, they feel supported, cared for, and served by you too. See the win-win-win here? Win for you, win for them, win for the world. Awesome. So I'm just kind of giving you examples of how this can play out as we think about this, just right off the cuff. And I hope you're sensing this. I hope you're feeling this. So kind of recapping what we've covered. The launch, big, scary, lots of work. Campaign, where we have kind of like a tied editorial or publishing calendar into an actual launch calendar for the year versus a promotion, which would be maybe more along the lines of what this is. The reason that I said this is a promotion and also a campaign is the campaign can be to grow the Mastery community subscription base, but the promotion is just to have them access to training. Because here's what we know. People need support for the long term. This is a journey, not a destination. That's the goal of the Mastery community level, the highest level of me working with you without doing it one-on-one, right? But if you just need this training and some Q&A answered, then that's more of a promotion. So the bigger campaign, if you were to label it, which I have, is the campaign is to grow Mastery community membership, then this is one piece to that. And maybe next month, I'll do another mini launch. The month after that, another mini launch. Always price juxtaposing, and you could substitute $297 here and maybe an annual price of $3,000 to $2,997 here. And these two would represent joining the Master community. This would represent just getting access to the training. Hey, if you want access to the training, here it is, and you get access to that in a Q&A. If you want to join our Master community, you get access to that. You get access to our library, you get access to high performance coaching, and you get access to Q&A for life of your subscription. On top of all that, for a limited time, I'm offering a 2-hour vision, strategy, and planning session to the first 10 people that sign up. You see how that launch sequencing and there's an urgency and a scarcity to the offer? Is that all landing for you? Again, if you have questions, note them down, put them in the comments, or if you're in our Master community, join our Q&A so that we can really, and I love how what I'm talking about is already in reality. Like, I'm telling you all these bonuses and offers, and if you're a Master community, you're like, oh yeah, I get it because I'm in it. So it's like, I'm the research reporter, I'm the role model, and the results expert in the space for you, and just really helping you see this reality. Whether you want to create it for yourself or help somebody else create it, that's up to you. So the psychology is everything. We've gone over the basics of what you need to know from a psychology perspective. We talked about emotion. We talked about struggle first. We talked about using their words, having them feel like you're reading their mind. We talked about arcing to an ambition. Then we talked about feature, advantage, benefit. We talked about scarcity, urgency. We talked about multiple offers. I know we've covered a lot. My hope, my desire, my dream for you is it's landing and it's helping you, and you've got a plan and you're starting to formulate. Ooh, I got this training I could do. I got this training I already created. Let's do a mini launch around it. And let's go. If you need help, you know I'm here for you. Let's rock it. Fourth, I would challenge you as you go to promote to provide value in advance. Now, Dr. John and I did the interview for our previous training today, which is Health, Wealth, and Happiness, how we're amping our immunity and protecting ourselves in regard to the viral outbreak. I could have said, hey, here's a clip from it that will help you immediately, where Dr. John talks about the power of vitamin D3, for example. And if you want the whole training, go here, buy the offer, or get into the program so we can help you in an enduring way, the Health, Wealth, and Happiness training at $47 a month, or get it for a year at $247 and feel supported in these ways as well. What Dr. John and I decided, though, is we didn't want to charge for this because this needs to get out there. We're like, you know what? No. Let's just get this out there to the people so that at least they understand how to bump their immunity up from a science-based realm, not from a fear, like academic or not that fear and academia tie together, but sometimes they do. A news, these kind of things. Just here's the science. Here's the reality. Here's the fundamentals for building your immunity now and for the future, and protecting yourself now and in the future once this outbreak is minimized. Like, just so you feel better in life in general. That's like the overarch. We made a decision not to charge for that. We could have, but no, we got to get that out there. However, if we did charge for that, this would be the model I would have used. $67 one time, get access to the training. John and I are going to be in a Q&A answering questions until. Or $47, get this training and our previous trainings for this season, season 3 of Health, Wealth, and Happiness, which include ... As I describe the topics for those, we would describe the advantage and benefit. Starting from scratch. The advantage is you're going to know where to start in your Health, Wealth, and Happiness journey, and you're going to help your family be better too. ... See the tear up? That's the first of season 3's trainings, just so you have a frame of reference. And that's the price model that I would use. And that's what we're actually going to be doing as we go into the next quarter and the rest of this year, is starting to see these mini launches that we're working on in regard to every training. And that's a huge piece for me, because I'm like, I really got to think about this in advance and build the case for it and kind of do a lot of front end work. I think once I get one done, it'll be pretty proficient thereafter. And of course, if you're in our mastery community, you're getting the inside scoop so you can follow along, see what works, what doesn't. I'm more than abundant, more than happy to share that with you. And that's the kind of way that works. So providing value in advance, the vitamin D3 conversation could have been a clip that went in with the original email that I would send out to people. Give them one step they can do in relation to topic to see a micro change or movement towards the ambition. Let me say that again. In providing value in advance, give them one step they can see or do in relation to the topic to see a micro change or movement towards the ambition. So if we go back to the example I just gave around amping your immunity and protecting yourself, the one change is add vitamin D3 to your daily routine, especially if you're not in the sunlight every day. Dr. John talks about that in the interview. And here's the advantage and benefit to that. And here's a video clip where Dr. John explains that. One small part in the bigger scope of that full Health, Wealth, and Happiness training and interview. You follow? So I would challenge you to pull that out of that example and say, what's the small takeaway that I can give them that they're just going to want to know more? Like, if that's what this is about, I need to know what the other 3 or 4 things Dr. John says. Just so you know, if you've watched it already, you know, vitamin C, elderberry, zinc, magnesium, and then assuring that you're living into the 10 fundamentals that I covered as well. Really powerful training. Love being on this journey with you. That's the piece. So I would challenge you as you think about, and we'll bring it all together when I go over the recipe, as you think about the messaging, what are the small tidbits of micro changes or value in advance, things they can do that provide micro changes so they can be like, oh my gosh, I just put in this in play and I'm already feeling the benefit towards whatever the ambition is. Time for another coffee break. Let's take a deep breath. If you're sitting, please stand. Let's kind of shake it out, bounce in place. I know I've covered a lot. Here's what we know. Jim Quick teaches us this. The body what is it? The brain grooves when the body moves. So when you get some movement in here, it helps your body absorb the information we've been going over. I feel like I'm dancing. Rocking it out with you on this gorgeous, gorgeous day. So, how are you doing so far? Would love to know. Comment below. Even if it's in the replay, comment. I see all the comments and I go in and I add value to them, usually every other day. Make sure you're taken care of there. Are we good? Awesome. So far, we've covered the launch versus mini launch, the psychology and the reality. People buy from emotion. We talked about fab. Now we've talked about providing value in advance. Finally, and this is critical, and this is where I think I can help you the most. As we go and roll out for my personal brand, we do a lot with client brands, but when we roll out for my personal brand, these concepts of mini launches, test and measure, improve and remove. No better example of this is when I was with Brendan in November 2017. I think it was November of 20. It might have been the earlier June or March. We were up in his office in Portland, and he came in, and Alex, his right-hand guy at the time, who was doing all his ad work, all his Facebook ad work, said, Brendan, we hit the threshold. That one ad that was produced in the last few days has gone below our threshold, and I think the percentage was like 1% conversion, meaning people clicking and getting into the offer. And Brendan's like, all right, I'm going to film 7 or 8 videos tomorrow. Be in here at 9 o'clock. We'll rock those out. We'll split them out and put them in and see if they work. And he did that, and then a couple of days later, he reported to us that the video that worked, where he went through this stuff, was the one where he held his iPhone up outside on his deck at the office. And he just talked through the offer, talked through the sales page, like the ultimate offer outline. Hey guys, struggling with this? Got this for you. It's going to help you here. Da, 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 da. Go ahead, click the button below. Let's go. And he talked about scarcity, those kind of things. So here's the thing. The mind blow for me was he was doing 7 or 8 of those. So many of us are like, I'm just going to create one offer and sales page. That's just the beginning of the journey. That's just the front end. My goal for you, because you're in the mastery community, for those of you that are in the mastery community, is that I'll share with you the pages that are working and why. And another light bulb, templatizing the page so that we can roll it out and simply replace the pieces. Replace the value in advance clip, the sales copy, but the template's all there. And then just roll these things out like crazy. You follow? I'm so excited about that, I can't even tell you. Whew. Good stuff? Feeling it? Oh, I hope so. So let's go over my recipe at this point in the journey. The first thing is to choose a topic, and that you've got to be incredibly careful about the struggle to ambition. What I mean by that is a lot of people are like, hey guys, you're going to learn how to feel better and get more connected to life. And typically those ambition-oriented titles and topics don't convert well. On the other hand, if we were to have gone after selling the health, wealth, and happiness training on upping our immunity and protecting ourselves, we'd be talking about there's a critical crisis going on right now. Viral outbreak. So many in the world of virology have been waiting for this day. Bill Gates is talking about pandemic. That's a big part of his endeavors with his Gates Foundation. Been waiting for this moment. And here's what you need to know to protect yourself, your family, those you care for or love, and also amp your immunity, meaning that your body is more apt to be able to overcome this sooner. And we're going to go over 8 critical needle movers, and we're going to go over 10 fundamentals, and we're going to leave you with a plan, an action plan that really helps you today, tomorrow, and the future live into a healthier, better version, happier version of yourself. You see how it ties into the ambition? And we got to be very careful about the wording there. Why? You talk about, hey guys, if you want to learn how to be better through this virus, got stuff for you. Or you talk about critical, you're using operative words. So there's a couple books that I recommend to get you in the right frame of mind. Words that sell, more words that sell, and phrases that sell. These are words, just the power of words that are tested and measured to really help you understand what kind of language ignites here. You get the language dialed in with feature, advantage, benefit, and everything we've been covered, and people are getting their emotions engaged. That's the goal. That's what we talked about up here. And they get their emotions engaged, and next thing you know, they're clicking buttons, and you're able to support, serve, and help them towards a better tomorrow in line of whatever you offer. That's usually, and Brendan has said this to me and many at the different events over the years, it's not people don't like you, it's you haven't dialed your marketing in. I put an offer up and nobody bought. It's not that people don't like you, I suck. No, it's you haven't dialed in these elements. You have not crushed the wording. So, one more time. More Words That Sell by Richard Bayan. Richard B-A-Y-A-N. Phrases That Sell by Edward Wirtz and Sally Germain. The Ultimate Phrases Finder to help you promote your product, service, and ideas. These are 3 critical reads. And before I build landing pages, sales pages, I read those the night, 2 nights, 3 nights before, just to get my mental capacities in the conversation. You follow? It's like getting ready to fight. But it isn't a fight, it's a helping the world. The beauty of all this is so powerful. Next, create your offers, and we spent a lot of time here. This pricing grid is what I'm going to start with for just access what we trained last session on the infinity offer of health, wealth, and happiness. You can get the training, 67 plus access to 1 Q&A, or you can join Health, Wealth, and Happiness only for $47 a month or $247 a year. You get access to Season 3's library, which now has, this would be the 8th training in it. If you want to upsell, like if you want more, I'll have an upsell that says you can join our mastery community and get access to this, to high performance coaching, as well as business internet mastery, and access to all our Q&As, as well as, and I'll probably do this as a limited time bonus for the first 10 people, a 2-hour VSPA session with me, where I'm in here on the whiteboard working with you to sort out your life and your business and go after it. You see how we're stacking on the bonuses? So we'll be testing and measuring that as we go into the second quarter and the rest of this year, and I'll be reporting that back to you. Third, create the sales page. So the sales page has those 3 offers on it, but is padded with the language of struggle, maybe a video, who this is for, who this is not for, the features, advantages, benefits, testimonials, character testimonials about me, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else in there. The scarcity and urgency of the offer. These kind of things are all in that sales page. Kind of ties it together in a bundle. My job and my goal, though, is to templatize that sales page so that the pricing can remain the same for health, wealth, and happiness-based mini launches, and I just roll it out, change the sales copy, throw in a new video, done, done, done. And I'm just so excited about that because I love working efficiently. And in Kajabi, if you guys are Kajabi users, if you are a Kajabi user, you can just take a sales page that you've made, clone it, just call it sales page template, and leave it in there. And then just clone the sales page template every time you want to make a new mini launch. Does that make sense? That might have been a little complicated. But that's the power. I want to make sure, as we talk this through, you're using the Ultimate Offer Outline, and in it we talk about the power of deadline and urgency. Incredibly important for you. You have to have a deadline, you have to have urgency. And the urgency can be created by having bonuses fall away after a certain day. A lot of people don't want to offer discounts, and I don't want to offer discounts, meaning that buy before Friday at midnight and you get $20 off the one-time price. That's not my scene. You get a discount if you buy the subscription, right? For the first month anyway. And the concept, though, is that you add bonuses that provide incentive for people to act now. And it's incredibly important. No matter what you're doing, you have incentives, urgency, scarcity. That's just the way humans work, especially today with all the barrage of offers that they get. You have to have those elements in there. Next, promote. So for me with the mini launch, here's the way it's going to be promoted. 1, email goes out on Tuesday at 7:45, and I have templates from some of the work that I've done with other clients. If you want access to that, comment below, say, Charlie, I like the mini launch email template, and I'll be sure to reach out to you and give that to you. So on Tuesday at 7:45 Eastern time, I'll put that in there, EDT. So whatever time zone you're in where most of your clients are, you might want to consider that time as a sweet spot for whatever reason. Science-backed sweet spot. Tuesday at 7:45, we introduce the offer, and we introduce the fact that it's going to shut down this Saturday at midnight. 2 days later, Thursday, 7:45, I've tested at night too. 7:45 in the morning still seems to work best. We're saying, hey, you forward the email you sent move it down, put, hey, just want to let you know there's 2 days left to get in on, and then add another level of feature advantage benefit so that you feel X and Y for the people you support and love, and this is the feature to really ignite that emotion. The day of the close, Saturday at noon, because we're closing it at midnight, we send out another email. Hey, there's 12 hours left. That's the only shift. Just add that to the email that was sent out on Tuesday at the top. Just want to let you know there's 12 hours left. If you have any questions, reply, let me know. I'm going to be here all day answering any questions you got. At 8 p.m., we've done 8 p.m. Some people do 11 p.m. I just see with the people that I work with, 8 p.m. is a 4-hour window. And the email is entitled, subject line, last call. In the first part of it, same thing. We're forwarding the email. You can forward Tuesday's email once again and put, hey, just want to let you know, this is last call. Bold it. And here's the thing. I want to make sure I'm taking care of you. If you want to know, in the context for this offer, how to build and amp your immunity and protect yourself and your family, we've got the training for you. The interview's in there. We've got real powerful tidbits. As you can see below, vitamin D3 is one of the many things you need to be thinking about introducing into your diet if you're not getting enough. Let's go. Let's roll. 4 hours left. Done. So that's the email piece. You can test ads, and we'll be doing this as well on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google along that time frame as well. If you have any kind of email list though, that's good. You could also be promoting it on social. A lot of times what we've done is copied the email into a social media post for some of our clients, and that ignites it as well. Hey guys, by this Saturday at midnight, blah, 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 it's going to close. Here's the things. Thursday, same story, same time. Saturday, same time. Saturday at 8, last call. And we've seen conversion there. Not as much as the email list, because the email list was warmer. People knew who that person was about and what they were going after. So that's our recipe. Pretty simple when you break it down. There might be some complexity in you creating offers, especially if you're using Kajabi and stuff like that. It's not that difficult, but some people struggle with it. There might be complexity in the psychology of the sales page. So when we get our templates done, maybe that'll help you. In the meantime, you follow the Ultimate Offer outline. The books really help ignite language that already works based on the fundamentals of psychology. I'll show you those books one more time. More Words That Sell, Words That Sell. Those are both from Richard Bain. And Phrases That Sell. And these, I got hard copies of these because I like to just read through them and go, I got to remember that. Got to integrate that. Got to bring that top of mind. Those kind of things. Whew. I hope this has crushed it for you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me help you out. Let me just go after it. And thanks again for our Master Community members and so many people that have supported us to get over 500,000 without going to scale in the last couple of years. It's like crazy how, I just never even imagined, and I can't thank you enough. That being said, this ends the training part of our work today. Let's get into the action list and rock it out. So, Adult Learning Theory says we got to review what we've covered. Big picture, why are we doing this? What are we doing to get 100% belief in our purpose? And how is this supporting it? To get full energy and enthusiasm around the idea, passion, positivity, feeling productive as we go through and create and put into the world, and ultimately, one launch away from changing your life financially to generating more profit. So we talked through the example being a 1-hour training with a Q&A, price point of $67. If you sign up to get the previous trainings that will help you along this ambition, $47 a month and $247 a year, if you want to do it that way. We'll have upsells in there for the mastery community. Next thing you know is what is a launch? Launch versus mini launch, campaign promotion, big picture launch. Lots of moving parts if you're going to do it right. The mini launch is kind of baby stepping in with one training that you might already have with a limited time offer around the fact that you can join a special Q&A. The moment this thing shuts down, we're going to give you a few days to absorb the training. Then we'll have a Q&A to answer all your questions and make sure we're taking care of you. If you follow Jeff Walker and the seed launch idea, that Q&A fuels you for the next offer. People will be like, here's the things that I didn't get from that training that I need to know. And you're like, all right, 67 more bucks. We're going to do another training this week or next week, and we'll have another Q&A. See how the magic of that happens? The psychology versus reality. People buy an emotion. Many people aren't going to use what you've got. It's not you, it's them, typically. You are reading my mind, use their words. I said word, especially with the struggle. Go into intake sheets, contact forms, get on Google, see what people are struggling with. in regarding your topic. Provide them value in advance. Give them one step they can do in relation to the topic to see a micro change or movement towards the ambition. So in the context for this, one thing I could tell you is to make sure you understand what words sell. And here's a book or a frame of reference where you can go and look at that. Are you using these words in your dialogue? In context for the health, wealth, and happiness training, vitamin D3. The power of vitamin D3 at blocking the terrorists, as Dr. John said, protecting your cells and the nucleus from getting overcome by the virus. Test and measure, improve or remove. Constantly going after. It's not just, I got a sales page up. It's like, let's vary this up. Let's try different A, B, C, D tests on it. My recipe went over choosing the topic, being very careful about the struggle to ambition, creating your offers, got that grid laid out, creating your sales page, and promoting. And it gave you an exact promotional schedule. And if you want access to the emails that we've done that have created results, just reach out to me and I'll be happy to forward them to you. Test ads in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google. And people are like, which one should I do? And I'm like, if you have the funds, try them all. Because you can turn the ads on and turn them off, like quick. And just see what generates click-throughs and hopefully generates sales for you. So action lists, people support what they create. Really critical as you get to the wording piece. Reaching out for words. Reach out with calls, emails, surveys, lunches, texts. Find the biggest struggles and capture their words. This has been magic for me over the years, especially in line of internet marketing. A lot of people are struggling with SEO. They didn't even know what it meant. They're like, I need SEO, and they don't know what it means. So I would have never said, do you need SEO? I would have said, do you need a website? So we re-engineered our online work to say, do you need SEO? Got a whole bunch of customers just by using their words and aligning it. That's happened over the years, last 25 years being in the internet business. Define your offer, training, and Q&A. So I said, for me, 1 hour training and Q&A. And the Q&A is where you can charge more, in my opinion. You can charge more for that price. So $67, $97. Because if they're getting time with you in a Zoom format and they're getting access, and I didn't go over this, getting access to the replays for life, there's a lot of value in that. Especially the time with you piece. So I hope that helps. Film your training, number 3. If you haven't filmed, if you're not using something like we've created stuff already, film the training that answers this and paints a really powerful ambition. Film that training. I suggest you follow our model where we do big picture perspective, training, and action lists. This follows the high performance model of influence, teaching people how to think, being the role model, and challenging them, teaching people how to think, being the role model, and then this is really the challenging them part that lands. If you're in high performance, you know that model, the influence model, session 6 of the core sessions. 4th, create power clips from your training. So when you go in or have somebody edit it, pull 3 to 8 power clips from your training that can be used as value in advance. So for example, in this training where I talk about what is a launch, that's a power clip. Where I talk about launch versus mini launch, that's a power clip. Where I talk about the psychology of it, 3rd power clip. We talk about providing value in advance, 4th power clip. Where I go over the recipe, I could give that away. That could be a 5th power clip. Or I could go over a couple items in it and say, there's more from where that came from, go over here. Can't wait to see in the training. You see how this kind of lands with what we're just gone through? Pretty good, huh? Next, create offers in sales page and make sure in the sales page, use one of your more powerful power clips from the training they're going to get. That presumes that you already have the training done when you go to create the offer. And my challenge for you is if you're going to do a training on a date at a time, still do a launch after the training's done with another Q&A so that you can get more people into it. Like leverage what you've got. Really critical. Create offers sales page, use clips, got that. Create email, social media campaign schedule, and content. Review with me if you need to. Mastery community members, you know you have that option. So we really want to make sure that we're real clear on what those emails are. In Kajabi, it's awesome. You create the first email, and then you just clone it, go into those clones, and then add the topic. 2 days left, 12 hours left, last call. That's this new subjects. And then you just add the line, move it down. I usually put a line there above it. Hey guys, just want to let you know there's 12 hours left. There's 2 days left, this last call. And it's done so fast. Number 7, and you know where this is going. I know you do. You have to take decisive action. Brendan looked at me when I had $0 in my Kajabi. $0. earned in my Kajabi. And he said, Char, with his furrowed eyebrows, just do it. That's what I flew all the way to Portland to hear, my man. 3 words. I'm taking action on it. He said, next time you see my eye whites, I want to know you've done it, and I want you to report out what kind of sales you're generating from it. Talk about pressure. Oh, so I hope in a small way, that's what this is for you, to take decisive action and go after it. And I hope this has helped. I really do. Because my purpose on this planet is to help you create a purposeful, passionate, positive, bring in the joy, enthusiasm, love, engagement, belief, productive, and profitable business. Using the power of the internet today, that's really what this premise is about. So thank you so much for being here. As always, if you have any questions, comment. If there's specific things you're like, Char, I need your help with these things, please reach out. If you're in our master community, we have check-in sessions. They've been going amazing as people are getting mojo and movement towards their goals. I'm here for you. I care for you. I unconditionally love you. And here's the story. I want to challenge you to go after this, because this could be the game changer for you, especially in the way the world's changing right now. More and more people are staying home. What does that mean? They have more time to learn from you. That being said, take care. Have a good one. Big hugs. Tons of love. Peace out. Rocks.